It's been over 2 years and South Asian community is still facing the extortion related threat.
Well, I guess I would ask you, how are the Liberals doing on this? Extortion is up 500%. Mark Carney claimed that he was going to be a different kind of Liberal. He's been in power now another year. He hasn't changed a single comma, period, or question mark in the criminal code, which is extortion. Mark Carney and the Liberals have endangered the lives of South Asian Canadians, people living in Surrey and Brampton, Northeast Calgary, because catch and release Liberal laws have caused chaos. The only way out is to get a new Conservative government that will scrap the Liberal laws, bring in mandatory jail time for extortionists, deportations for foreign visitors who do extortions, criminal background checks in country of origin, to introduce mandatory prison sentences of 10 years for extortion.
What do you propose we should do to give Canadian affordable livelihood?
Well, you should be able to afford food, afford home, afford to hope again, afford to start a family. That's the way it always was before Liberals caused this enormous inflation crisis.
Conservative Party, couple of your MPs have crossed floors and joined the Liberals. What do you think is driving them to take these decisions?
Mark Carney's trying to get himself manipulate a majority that Canadians voted against. No one voted for a Liberal majority.
If in future more lawmakers cross floors, will you propose to step down as the leader of Conservative Party?
Absolutely not.
ਅੱਜ ਸਾਡੇ ਨਾਲ ਫੈਡਰਲ ਕੰਜ਼ਰਵੇਟਿਵ ਪਾਰਟੀ ਅਤੇ ਵਿਰੋਧੀ ਧਿਰ ਦੇ ਲੀਡਰ ਪੀਅਰ ਪੋਲੀਅਰ ਜੁੜੇ ਨੇ। ਅੱਜ ਉਹਨਾਂ ਨਾਲ ਕੈਨੇਡਾ ਦੇ ਕਈ ਮੁੱਖ ਮੁੱਦਿਆਂ ਅਤੇ ਸਾਊਥ ਏਸ਼ੀਅਨ ਭਾਈਚਾਰੇ ਨਾਲ ਸੰਬੰਧਿਤ ਮੁੱਦਿਆਂ ਤੇ ਗੱਲਬਾਤ ਕਰਾਂਗੇ। Hello Mr. Poilievre, how are you?
Good, Happy New Year.
Happy New Year to you. And I would like to start with the most important question related to the South Asian community. It's been over 2 years and South Asian community is still facing the extortion related threat. We are in the first month of the year and people have started seeing the extortion related cases already. Yesterday there was 2 incidents where shooting related to the extortion happened in Surrey and Delta. As a leader of opposition, how you hold accountable the government regarding this issue?
Well, I guess I would ask you, how are the Liberals doing on this?
So what do you think?
Like they've been in power for 10 years now. Extortion is up 500%. Mark Carney claimed that he was going to be a different kind of Liberal. He's been in power now another year. He hasn't changed a single comma, period, or question mark in the criminal code. And extortion cases continue to rise. I know when he came to Surrey, he went to White Rock. He went for, I think he went for an ice cream cone or a donut and a nice walk on the beach and claimed he'd paint the pier, but didn't have 1 minute to talk with the Surrey community about the single biggest issue, which is extortion. Mark Carney and the Liberals have endangered the lives of South Asian Canadians, people living in Surrey and Brampton, Northeast Calgary, because catch and release Liberal laws have caused chaos. You got C-75, Liberal law on bail, allows the same extortionists to be out released within hours of their latest arrest. C-5, reduced penalties for extortion with a gun. You've got the immigration system where Liberals let in the Bishnoi gang into our country to carry out these terrorist attacks. They still haven't brought in a foreign agent registry years after the law was passed. So you have the Liberal government in Ottawa to thank for the extortion crisis, the 500% increase that has happened in extortions under the Liberals' watch. The only way out is to get a new Conservative government that will scrap the Liberal laws, bring in mandatory jail time for extortionists, deportations for foreign visitors who do extortions, criminal background checks in country of origin of people coming here before they visit to our country. That is how we're going to end this extortion that has exploded under the Liberals' watch.
Okay, so it's the responsibility of the government. What actions you will personally take if you come to power, or what you propose steps should be taken to prevent or control these issues?
The bill by Tim Singh Uppal, he's my deputy leader, to introduce mandatory prison sentences of 10 years for extortion. So someone does an extortion, they go away for 10 years. after which, if they're a foreign national visiting Canada, they will be deported from our country. We'll get rid of catch and release bail and pass Arpancana bill. Arpancana, he's our Conservative Member of Parliament from Ontario. He's got a bill to lock up criminals with jail, not bail, the Jail Not Bail Act, and criminal background checks. So we don't let Bishnoi criminals into our country. If someone's been involved in Bishnoi, they should not be allowed in Canada. That is how we're going to stop this Liberal extortion crisis.
Okay, let me come to the immigration. There's around 500,000 people who are without status. So what's your stand? Do you want them, they should be deported back, or what should we do with them?
Man, what a mess the Liberals have made. They let people come here on student visas and implied that they would be able to stay permanently, and now the same people have their permits expired, and the Liberals don't know what they're going to do with the mess they've created. Obviously, if someone is not eligible to be here, if they've overstayed their permit and their visa, they have to go back. They're not citizens or permanent residents. And I know that's not a happy story for them, but the system has to be based on rules and laws, and that's the approach we take.
Let me come to the affordability. There is the affordability crisis in Canada. What do you propose we should do to give Canadian affordable livelihood?
Well, you should be able to afford food, afford home, afford to hope again, afford to start a family. That's the way it always was before Liberals caused this enormous inflation crisis. What's causing it? For one, the government is printing money to fund their deficits. They've got a $78 billion deficit. This is the biggest deficit in history outside of COVID. They're printing money to pay for it. That bids up all the goods we buy and the services we need. We need to cut the deficit, cut consultants, bureaucracy, foreign aid, handouts to fake refugees, corporate welfare. Cut it all and bring the deficit and the cost of living down. Get rid of all of the hidden taxes on food. You've got an industrial carbon tax on farmers and food processors. There's a new fuel tax that is driving up the cost of producing food. There's a packaging tax. They're basically banning single-use plastics. It sounds very nice, right? Well, it makes the food go bad faster, and now you're paying more at the grocery store. So food prices are rising twice as fast in Canada as they are in the States, and that's the result of these Liberal taxes. Let's get rid of these taxes. On the housing side, let's stop taxing home building. I'm saying take GST off of all home building, all new homes, not just for first-time buyers, but for all buyers. Incentivize the municipalities to cut their development charges. Tax-free home building would make it much more affordable to buy a house for our next generation. So this is the way we're going to make your dollars go further and make this an affordable country where anybody can get ahead through their hard work.
Okay, and I want to ask you about the Conservative Party. A couple of your MPs have crossed floors and joined the Liberals. What do you think is driving them to take these decisions?
Well, look, Mark Harney's trying to get himself manipulate a majority that Canadians voted against. No one voted for a Liberal majority. They voted against that. And if he gets it, he's going to raise taxes, drive up deficits, make life even more expensive for Canadians. So we're telling all MPs, respect the will of voters. If you are a Conservative MP, it's because people voted for lower taxes, for fiscal responsibility, for locking up criminals, for an affordable life. So be true and faithful to what people voted for.
If in future more lawmakers cross floors, will you propose to step down as the leader of Conservative Party?
Absolutely not. The people of it's the welders, the waitresses, the small business owners who are members of the Conservative Party that want an affordable, safe life that will decide who leads the party, not backroom backstabbers in Ottawa. We are a grassroots party of the common people, and they will decide who the leader is.
And I would like to talk about the U.S. action on Venezuela. Do you support that?
Yes, I think that dictator Maduro he's destroyed the country along with Hugo Chavez. It used to be the richest country in all of the Americas. They have the biggest supply of oil, and yet because of 25 years of socialism, it's now the poorest country. This socialist dictatorship is and jailing political opponents, starving the population, and becoming a staging ground for Hezbollah, for other foreign terrorist organizations. And he should be, obviously, I hope he's convicted and lives out his days in jail. Maria Corina Machado, the Nobel Prize-winning champion of democracy, along with the winner of the most recent election, should take over.
And you are always been advocating for the pipeline projects. So what do you think, why it is so important right now to have pipeline?
Well, so we don't have to give all our oil to the Americans at a discount. Right now, we're giving the Americans a gift. Because we have no overseas markets, effectively, no overseas markets, they get 90% of our oil and they pay a $15 discount per barrel, which costs us billions of dollars. If we could get a pipeline to the Pacific that carries 1 million barrels a day, that would boost our GDP by $30 billion, or about $1,400 a family. Now, why should you care if you're not working in oil and steel and other associated industries? Why should you care? Because it would mean our Canadian dollar would be stronger, so your food and your gas and your housing would be cheaper. It would mean that we'd have more tax revenues for hospitals, schools, roads that don't have to come out of your pocket, that can come out of the wealth of our country. And it would mean we'd be more independent and self-reliant from the Americans. Now, for a pipeline to happen, we just need Mark Carney and the Liberals to get out of the way. The federal government is the only government that has the power to accept or reject a pipeline. By granting a permit to build a pipeline from Hardisty, Alberta to Prince Rupert or Kitimat, BC, then the private sector can bring the billions of private investment that will generate huge profits for them and huge benefits for all of us. So let's build that pipe and make our country affordable and strong.
Okay. You would like to say anything additional to this conversation?
Look, life has been terrible for people after 10 years of the Liberal government. And I think people have to decide if they've had enough. Liberals have had 4 chances now. And what have you got? More expensive groceries, unaffordable food, crime and extortion raging in the streets, poor job opportunities. And it's a miserable result after over a decade of Liberal government. Mark Carney promised he would change it. He's even worse than Trudeau. We need a change, but we can bring the hope for the future with an affordable and safe country, with a blue seal that allows immigrant professionals to take a test, prove they're qualified, get working as doctors, engineers, nurses, architects, unlock our resources, and lower the taxes and cost of living. That is going to make this a country that is safe, affordable, and the promise of our country will be restored.
Okay. Thank
All
you,
right.
Mr. Poilievre, for
Thank you
joining
very much,
us.
and Happy New Year to you.
Happy New Year.
Good to see you.
Red FM ਲਈ ਪ੍ਰਤੀਕ ਸਿੰਘ ਮਾਹਲ ਦੀ ਰਿਪੋਰਟ।